Right now, this franchise simply gets outcompeted from ownership to the front office, to the dugout, to the players, and everything else that is associated with this franchise. They normalize it, they justify it, they put a positive spin on it. We call it how it is. Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Booney, one name, all passion. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen of the day. I'm from the Bay Area, and I've been a diehard A's fan since '81. This isn't just another A's podcast. This is the most informative and insightful show on the A's, period. We cover the A's every single day, breaking down games, delivering the latest team news, and giving you deep, thoughtful analysis you will not find anywhere else. If it's happening in Sacramento or in Las Vegas, we got you covered. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. And please hit that subscribe button wherever you are following the show. Not only do we cover the A's every single day, but now we are giving you instant shows after every single game. Check out the Locked On A's postgame show approximately 15 to 30 minutes after the final out right here on the Locked On A's podcast feed, as well as streaming on the Locked On A's YouTube channel. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On A's postgame show, and we will be going live later on today as the A's try to avoid a 4-game sweep against the Los Angeles Angels. I couldn't watch the A's live on Tuesday or last night. Life got in the way, but now it's right around 3 a.m. I just finished both games. I sat there in the dark, jaws clenched, fist balled, hoping to find something redeemable in this 8-game losing streak. I wanted to come in here with some optimism, some silver lining, something to give you hope. Instead, I'm livid. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. When I started prepping for this show, I fired up the A's Cast interview with David Forst on Spotify, the one he did with Chris Townsend and Steve Sachs before Tuesday night's game, and I listened to it. My frustration turned into full-blown, vein-popping rage. You'll hear why in a minute. Then I watched Mark Kotsay's post-game comments after both losses. That threw gasoline on the fire. But let's start with Tuesday night. Top of the ninth, Yoan Moncada hits a soft fly ball to right center. J.J. Bleday and Lawrence Butler both break towards the ball. And what do we get? The ball drops between them like a sad metaphor. That play is this team right there. A team that doesn't talk, a team that doesn't sacrifice, a team that doesn't give a damn to sell out for the guy next to them. Bleday lets up because he doesn't want to run into Butler. Butler veers off, maybe in time, maybe not, but someone's got to take charge. Instead, the ball drops. The inning continues, and the A's spiral deeper into irrelevance. If you have listened to me for any amount of time, you know I have screamed about the lack of communication on pop-ups and fly balls since the start of the year. I've mentioned it over 20 times. Maybe even more. That's not an exaggeration. And here we are, 50 games into a season, and they still can't talk to each other on a ball in the air? That's not bad luck. That's not youth. That's rot. That is culture rot. It happened again last night on a pop-up between Urias and Seth Brown. What is going on? And I get it. I have been hard on Lawrence Butler's body language and effort for most of the year. But you know what? I was wrong because it's just not him. It's everywhere. This isn't a Lawrence Butler issue. It's a 2025 A's issue with the exclusion of a couple players. This team doesn't compete, period. I don't judge a team by wins and losses. I know the sport. Baseball is a game of waves. Some years you got it, some years you don't. Hey, that's life. But what is unacceptable is the lack of fire, the lack of urgency, the absence of heart. Since 2000, the A's have been to the postseason 11 times. That's 6 most in baseball. The 70s, the 80s, and the early 90s, well, that speaks for themselves. This isn't a doormat franchise. We know what good looks like. We know what fight looks like. And what we are watching right now isn't that. This is simple stuff. Things we were taught as kids. Try your best. That doesn't mean just having a good at bat or hitting the ball hard once in a while. It means effort on every play. Being a good teammate, communicating, sacrificing, putting the team above your ego, being selfless. In life, just like in baseball, no one does anything great alone. You win as a team. You grow as a team. That's not a cliche. That is the truth. But this team, it plays like 26 guys waiting for someone else to do something. They have no pride, no fight, just whining and quitting, and the coaches enable it. Scott Emerson was in an interview as well, making excuses for his pitchers, how they have nowhere to sit between innings because the clubhouse is so far away. Are you guys that soft? Toughen up, man. That play with Bleday and Butler, it was a soft fly ball, but it screamed at full volume, we don't trust each other. We don't talk. We don't care enough to get it right because play after play, this has been happening. And the losing streak, 8 in a row, I don't see rage. I don't see desperation. I don't see fire. I see blank stares and quiet dugouts. It's as if these guys are numb to it all, numb to failure, numb to letting each other down. I don't feel sorry for this team playing in Sacramento. You think anyone feels sorry for your job, your commute, your paycheck? This is professional baseball. And you, as them, have to work, have to show up. The difference is they do it 162, you do it 365. No one cares what stadium you play in. They care if you compete. Right now, the A's don't. If you or I lost at our jobs for 8 straight days, there'd be furniture flying. People would be held accountable. But in that clubhouse, it feels like just another Tuesday. And this falls on leadership because every team takes on the identity of its leader. That's just how it works. If your manager is calm and collected, great. But if he is too calm, too passive, too tolerant of failure, the team follows suit. The leader sets the tone. So next up, we're going to dive into what Mark Kotsay said after both of those losses to the Angels. And I'm telling you right now, if you aren't already mad, you will be. Buckle up. All right, if you are in the trades and you are still running around to 10 different stores just to get what you need, what are you doing? There's a better way. It's called supplyhouse.com and it's built just for you. Whether you are a plumbing pro, HVAC wizard, or an electrical expert, Supply House is your online hookup for getting the job done without wasting your time or your gas money. Their website is so easy to use. It's basically the power tool of online supply ordering. It's packed with resources, how-tos, and the newest product drops. And with over 200,000 parts from more than 400 top brands, if they don't have it, does it even exist? Coast-to-coast delivery? Check. Fast shipping? Check. That one fitting you swore nobody had in stock? Yeah, also check. Need help? Supply House doesn't throw you into a phone maze of robotic nonsense. You get a real person, an actual human who knows their stuff and won't read off a script like it's their first day on earth. And if you are a trade pro, and you know you are, you've got to check out their Trade Master program. It's free, it's baller, and it gets you the VIP treatment. Dedicated phone line, free shipping, discounts on every single order. Tens of thousands of pros are already in. Don't be the last one to the job site. So here's what you do. Go to supplyhouse.com/TM to join the Trade Master program right now. Then use code SH5. That's SH5 to get 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Stop hauling, start clicking, get back to building. Mark Kotsay is arguably the greatest college baseball player to ever step foot on a diamond. I said arguably, but if you know the game, you know he's in that conversation. The dude was a force of nature at Cal State Fullerton. He won the Golden Spikes Award. He won the College World Series Most Outstanding Player. He dominated. And while his big league career never quite hit those same highs, who could really? He still carved out 16 years in the majors, played for 7 different teams, and even got MVP votes in 2004 while patrolling center field for the A's. He was fiery, gritty, a tone setter, a gamer. That's why I love the 3-year extension the A's gave him. I even did a whole damn show on it called Game Changer. Yeah, that's on me. I whiffed. And don't get it twisted. He has been a game changer, just not the kind we needed. Not in the way that lifts a team. More like the way a dead battery changes the game when your car won't start. Because this team, this soulless, passionless, silent train wreck of a team, plays nothing like Kotsay ever did. Kotsay was fire. This squad is ice. So when I sat down to watch his post-game press conference after the latest stomach-turning loss, this time 10-5 to the Angels and 7-5 to the Angels on Tuesday and Wednesday, making it 8 straight losses, I thought, here we go. Time for fire. Time for the former fireballer to burn some walls down. Show something, a pulse, a shout, a cracked voice, anything. But what did we get? We got a Sunday stroll, excuses, polished cliches, and corporate calm. He mentioned all the hits we got the last 2 nights. Plenty of offense. He praised the at-bats in the 9th inning. The 9th? When the game was already over? He liked what Soderstrom was doing in left. He tipped his hat to Kurtz for his home runs. He said if we keep doing things over and over, eventually we will win some games. Eventually? Eventually? This is not JV tryouts. This isn't Timmy bulking up over winter break, hoping to crack the varsity lineup next season. This is not your neighborhood little league team where progress is measured in hustle and sunflower seeds. This is Major League Baseball. Right now, this feels like a slow motion rebuild with no real plan and no urgency to actually win today. Stop comparing this team to last year's 69-win team and having the expectations that we're just a little bit better than the 69 wins, or that going 500 would be magical. It's a completely different team. Look at the lineup. First base, Nick Kurtz, new. Second base, Luis Urias, new. Shortstop, Jacob Wilson, new. Third base, Miguel Andujar, new. Left field, Tyler Soderstrom, new. The only pitcher in our starting rotation from last year is JP Sears. Everyone else, new. Everybody else, like the Brentrookers, the Lawrence Butlers, supposedly the building blocks, the core, the ones ready to compete, and yet we keep acting like this is some long-term investment plan, like one day we'll wake up and magically have a contender. Here is the reality. We are playing for tomorrow while losing every damn today. And that's just not on Kotsay anymore. Let's get to the man behind the mess, the architect, the one steering this runaway train straight off the cliff, David Forst. He's next. Because if Kotsay is the face of this sleepwalking team, Forst is the blueprint. When I think of baseball general managers and losing streaks, I don't think of spreadsheets. I don't think of press conference smiles or dead-eyed optimism. I think of Brad Pitt and Moneyball, Billy Beane staring down a lifeless clubhouse, grabbing a bat and obliterating a water cooler. That wasn't just a Hollywood moment. That was a man feeling it, a man who couldn't stomach the sight of mediocrity, let alone accept it. Now, I'm not asking David Forst to play out a script, but after losing 6 in a row at the time he did the interview on A's Cast with Chris Townsend, you'd expect something, a little fire, a little truth, something that shows the guy in charge of this franchise gets it. Instead, I get the opposite. I listened to Forst's interview with Chris Townsend and Steve Sachs on A's Cast before Tuesday night's mess. And let me tell you something. That interview made me more upset than either of the games did. And that's saying a lot. There he was, talking it up about how much he loved watching Steve Sachs back in the day, like the A's were riding a 6-game winning streak. Laughs, nostalgia, talking about rough patches. You'd think we were 30-20 and just got swept in Cleveland. But no, we're skidding into the abyss, and the guy at the top is treating it like a speed bump. And then came the kicker. He was pleased that Mason Miller isn't pitching in the big moments as often because, quote unquote, we need to save his bullets. Excuse me? Save his bullets? For what, Dave? The All-Star game he won't be pitching in because we're 25 games under 500? Or are we saving him for the trade deadline so he can anchor someone else's bullpen in October? You don't hoard your best players' innings like coupons. You use them when it counts. And right now, everything counts. Because if this losing culture festers any longer, it becomes permanent. Then came Steve Sachs, who I honestly think was handed a script before he sat down. He said, quote unquote, I see a team that's not panicking. I see chemistry. I see togetherness. Are you watching the same team, Steve-O? Where? On what planet, kiddo? We've seen more communication in a middle school group project than we have seen in the A's outfield. And don't you dare compare the Dodgers 4-game blip to the A's ongoing implosion. That's insulting. The Dodgers lose 4 and still wake up in first place. The A's lose 8 and look like they're sleepwalking into the offseason. And Forst, of course, nodded along like this was all fine. This stretch is nothing compared to what we have gone through in the last couple of years, he said. Seriously? You're justifying losing now? You're using our recent past, some of the worst stretches in the franchise history, as a reason not to panic? And Dave, I don't want to hear about the minor leaguers anymore, who are a year, 2 years away. I don't want to hear about Luis Morales like he's the second coming of Pedro Martinez. I've watched his starts. I break them down. And yes, Morales is electric. When he is locked in, he looks unhittable. But let's stop pretending he's bulletproof. He's been hit. He's been hit hard. And you know what happens to guys who get hit hard in AA? They get crushed in AAA. Don't twist this into negativity. This is reality. And yes, Luis Morales has the potential to be something very, very special, but he is not close to ready. So why are we talking about 2026, 2027, Dave, when we are in a tailspin in 2025? I wanted to come on here and be positive, desperately. I wanted one quote, just one quote from Kotsay or Forst that said, this is unacceptable. I wanted fire. I wanted frustration. I wanted real talk. Instead, I got a smiling GM telling me this is just a rough patch and a manager doing a post-game interview like he just got done walking his dog on a breezy Sunday afternoon. And yet, somehow, I'm still telling you, this team is talented. This team can win. I believe in them. I'm not crazy. I'm not backing down from that take. This roster has the pieces to be something special. They have to want it. And we'll find out soon who does. The Aids don't need a roster shakeup or a miracle arm from AA or AAA. They need heart. Not the kind you write on motivational posters or tape to a clubhouse wall. I'm talking about the real, gritty, pulse-pounding edge that shows up when your back's against the wall and you still come out swinging. The kind of heart Mark Kotsay used to play with, diving head first into a wall, throwing a runner out from center with a frozen rope, letting everyone in the stadium know that the game meant something. That edge has gone missing. You can see it in the body language, in the lack of urgency, in the post-game pressers where frustration is replaced with shoulder shrugs and silver linings. This team isn't talent-starved. They are soul-starved. And here's the thing. Heart isn't something you call up from Las Vegas or sign off the waiver wire. It comes from within. It comes from the leaders in the dugout, on the field, and in the front office, making it crystal clear that playing for the A's means something more than just collecting service time. It comes from players challenging each other, from a coaching staff demanding accountability, and from a front office that stops babying development and starts demanding results. This team has the pieces to compete. Now they need the will. Because until the A's find their heart, they are just 26 uniforms filling out a schedule. And no one fears a team without a pulse. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts.